Hello everyone. We shall see if the mic picks up the storm we're in. Anyway, AmyR here. Welcome back to my face, card making space, Prairie paper and ink. We're currently live, and if you're watching this after the live, this is on replay. Things are a little different paced than my normal videos because we're live. We'll see what happens. I am tired. The unpaid intern's in the corner. He's also tired. And yeah, it's storming and we'll just see. We'll just see. That's all. Just fingers crossed.
Yep.
We had a power outage. Was that yesterday? Was a power outage?
Yesterday morning.
Yeah, we had a big old power outage yesterday, and that usually really messes up all my tech. But again, knock on wood, cross all fingers. Hello to everybody. And yeah, we're gonna keep today hopefully sort of simple, just using some oldie but goodie favorites, one of which happens to be a very good sale at the moment. So I'm gonna flip down the camera. Oh, things seem to be working. Let's just hope. It's gonna use this. This came out, I don't know, a while ago, something. I've done a video using it. It's the Modern Heart Quilt. I think this came out last year. The stamp and die set that I have linked is currently on sale for a ridiculously cheap price. I also did link, there is a coordinating stencil set, and I think it was I used the stencil set in the video I did last year using this. Stencil set's not part of the bundle, but I linked to it for anyone who might be interested. But I just wanted something kind of geometric, and this just fit the bill, because we're going to do some mucking around with shimmer powders. I had a lot of people asking me about them again, and one of my recent orders, I didn't do a haul of this because, again, I've been tired. It's been a rough couple months. Anyway, I got this set of Lindy's Magicals. This is the collection's called Drink Me Silly. So I ordered them. The colors are really pretty. These are the new to me little shaker version of these little containers. Let's move this over here, because all the videos I've done using the Lindy's magical powders, and I have a playlist linked in the description below the video, because I've got a playlist with dozens of videos using either the Lindy's Magicals or my Tonic Nouveau shimmer powders. And this is what I'm used to with the Lindy's, is just this little, like, you know, container of powders that don't look like anything until we start playing with them. But the newer ones have these they're little shakers. So they come like this, and then you get the little, nails are jewels, not tools. Anyway. Ooh, I can take that right out. Okay, good. I was wondering if I could get this off easily.
I would have used
That'll
my
help.
boy energy to get it off.
Your boy energy, yeah. Anyway, it's got a little shaker. So I'm going to use them we might do 2 cards. I'm going to use them 2 ways. We're going to see. We're going to see. I make no promises, because like I said, I'm tired. Things have been chaotic. And those who follow me on Facebook know exactly what I'm talking about when I say chaos, because yesterday was loads of fun. Nothing like, telling someone they're just being a little bit unhelpful, and then they decide to private message you and call you names. It's so fun. I left the screenshots up. They're on my Facebook page. I'm not getting into it. Anyway, we're gonna make something shimmery. That's the plan. That is the plan. So I got just my go-to Canson and Schmutz, Canson XL watercolor paper. Same stuff I've been using for, a bajillion years, especially when it comes to things like shimmer powders. A lot of it, you don't need the good watercolor paper. I save that for when I'm really feeling fancy. When you want to do like no line watercoloring, or you just really want to up your watercolor game. Paper is the biggest.
Quality factor?
I guess, yeah, quality factor. Thank you. Because yeah, if you've been playing around with watercolor and you don't like your results, everything else, check your paper. You know, because this is lower end. This is like student grade. There's like, you know, there's just the cheaper student grade, there's mid grade, and then there's higher grades like your Arches and Fabrianos and all that stuff. And they can get expensive, but they do make a huge difference. Anyway, I use Canson XL 99% of the time because it just, for what we're doing and card making that most of the time, it serves the purpose, and it's cheap. You know, that is the biggest thing. Cheap always wins. Okay, so we're good. Everything is good. And we're just gonna make, and I'll feel better the more I start making. I know I will. And we'll be good. And we're live. Live on Sundays we go live. Woo. So we're gonna heat emboss first. It would help if I, you know, maybe got out the things I was gonna use. I made my supply list. Again, it's below the video. Everything's linked, and then the unpaid interns helping to post things and all the stuff.
Hello.
And you don't have to do heat embossing for this. The only reason, and I've talked about this a lot when it comes to watercolor, shimmer powders, messy, whatever, the only reason I do a lot of heat embossing with it is it creates raised edges, you know, so it keeps things a little more contained. That really comes in handy with the first thing, well, with both things I'm going to do. You know, having those raised edges, they're like bumper pets. They help. They help. Okay, so we're gonna heat emboss. Doesn't really matter where I place this because I'm gonna use the coordinating die to cut it out, so I can just go anywhere. And then, because people do ask, I guess I can do with the Canson. It is really hard to tell. That's another reason why I like it so much. This is the more textured side, because if you've ever worked with watercolor paper, and if you haven't, well, all watercolor paper, with the exception of hot press, I'm not going to get into that, but cold press watercolor paper has a textured side and a smoother side. And it's just personal preference, because I get asked a lot. For the most part, out of habit, I stamp on the smoother side because you get better results on the smoother side with stamping. But generally with watercolor, you kind of want the more textured side because those fibers are going to grab the color. But that's getting into like really finicky details, and it honestly doesn't really matter most of the time. But I generally do go for the smoother side. And then, am I hearing things? I thought I heard a child outside howling.
Yeah.
Did you hear that too?
Like a cat.
Oh, maybe. When the wind is howling, sometimes it's hard to tell.
Yes.
It's hard to tell.
Small enough child.
It wasn't our children howling, so we're good. Anyway, anti-static powder, as always. Anti-static powder. This just helps keep the embossing powder from going where it doesn't need to be. And especially if you're anything like me and you have like oilier skin, you don't want it, you know, embossed powder picking up fingerprints or things like that. So anti-static powder, there we go. And then get it lined back up in my MISTI. Oh dear, Barb. Yeah, save your phone battery. Hoping that doesn't happen with us. We have had 2 power outages in the last, like, what, 2 weeks? Which almost never happens here.
No, we're a fortress compared to
Yeah.
the rest of the province.
Yes, it almost never happens, and it's happened twice now. And the first time it happened a couple weeks ago, it did mess up, like, everything. We're still not sure exactly why, but it just... I was having trouble accessing the internets and all the things. So, loads of fun. Love that. Woo. But, just is what it is. Okay. Could be both wind and child. Yeah, so you never know sometimes. Especially around here. We live in suburbia. There's a lot of young families and a lot of young, very loud children around. So that's also why I'm tired. You fell asleep, but there were people out partying until 1 a.m., I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just wherever they were, but I could hear them loud and clear. It was unbelievably annoying.
I was tired, so I just.
Oh yeah, you conked right out.
As soon as we were done watching TV. We didn't even watch TV.
No, we didn't watch TV. I was reading my book.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, the annoying partiers kept me up, and that was just. They were like extremely annoying. So love that so much. Anyway, gold embossing powder. Gold embossing powder, which again looks like nothing till we melt it, but we're gonna do both because I might be able to make two today. We should be able to. We should be able to. We'll see. We'll see. I just feel off. I think again it kind of ties back into any time the rare times because we've only had to cancel what twice now.
Yeah.
Cancel a Sunday live, and last Sunday I had a horrible headache. We just couldn't do it. It throws me off, even though I did a bonus live by myself.
You did.
On Thursday, whatever day that was. I think it was Thursday I did it. That went good. It went good. It was fun. And that's still up on the channel for anyone who might have missed it. So I did that one. And my plan is to do more bonus lives, like not just Sundays, but it just depends on 5 bajillion factors, as always. So, hello to Austria. Crazy.
Dang.
Crazy. Was that our gate? No, I think it was the lid of one of our recycling bins.
It could have been.
This wind is bad.
Yes.
Like the walls in here are shaking. Again, my mic might not be picking it up. It's very good. I've been noticing how good it is at like cutting out ambient noise. It should be good at that considering how freaking expensive it was. But Chris is getting the full brunt of what it's like for me to work in here during howling wind. Okay. Okay. Don't let the trolls get you down. Oh, I don't. The trolls never get to me, really. Even when I do post screenshots of some of the dumb crap I have to deal with, it doesn't get to me. And I never post it with the intent of like, now people need to tell me how amazing I am. No. Like, I'm well aware of my limitations as a human being. But yeah, sometimes I just like to keep it real and be like, this is what I deal with sometimes. So fun. Yeah. Love it.
You don't get to see stuff for creators, but
no, a lot of creators are much better but just better humans than me. Literally. They are. I'm the one, I take and we've talked about this in my lives. Like, I have directly addressed this. I take screenshots, I post names, I don't care. I don't care, because it's like, I'm not putting up with this crap. You want to come pull stunts, I'll expose you. But, other makers, they have their own, crap to deal with, and they shouldn't have to.
They shouldn't. Absolutely.
So, I name and shame and expose. Heat tool would help. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna melt. See if I can make it show on camera. Not really. The lines are fine, so it's not as like magical seeing everything melt like it would be if it was a solid image. But it'll still be pretty in the end. One down. Hello, Dawn. Mm-hmm. Also, side note, something I'll mention. I'm not going to be able to show this. It's difficult to show on camera. But another thing to remember when you're heat embossing is the minute it does, so here I can show this part. You can already see where it's smooth and melted, shiny, and then all this is dull grainy. This is what I talk about in my videos. All of this hasn't been melted yet because I stopped. But the other thing to remember too with heat embossing is the minute it is melted, move your heat tool away. If you continue to, you know, heat an area with embossing powder, it will literally liquefy. And when it liquefies, like fully, it will then sink into the cardstock. So then you lose that actual raised edge. Because I've, you know, when you especially notice that with sentiments on cardstock, etc. Because people send me pictures and they're like, why does it look like this? It's, you know, they've white heat embossed on black and it's all like dotty looking and weird and things like that. That is one of the things more often than not is you're just overheating it and it's liquefying and it's just going and then it doesn't look pretty. So the minute it's shiny, whether it's metallic, white, whatever, the minute it's melted, move to the next spot. Hopefully that makes sense. And then, yeah, you tilt it in the light. Everything is shiny, smooth, melted, good to go. Good to go. So, we got our hearts. And the wind is really just like, wah!
Yeah, it's gusting at about 75 kilometers an hour now.
What is that in miles?
80 goes to 50, so just under 50 miles an hour.
Yay, 50-mile-an-hour gusts. Because most of my audience is American.
Yeah.
They don't do metric.
Well, you got so much people that from Europe, so.
I do, but the majority of my audience is American. I get asked that a lot, like why I don't support this business, support that business, because I'm, you know, affiliated with Simon Says Stamp. I'm pretty much exclusive to them. And the biggest thing is, yeah, 95+% of my audience is American. So go America. Anywho. All right. So we got these. I'm going to set this one aside. We're going to use it in a minute. But first, but wait, there's more. We're going to do just what I normally, or how I normally use magical powders. And with these containers, I use usually like a little fan brush to, you know, dip it in. Again, the playlist, if you haven't seen any of my videos using them, playlist is linked below. Tons and tons and tons of videos, methods, all the things. But, you know, I'll dip a little fan brush, tap it on, that sort of a thing.
I have to go rescue the garbage can.
Is our garbage can disappearing?
It's gone.
Yep. Okay. Go save it. Pull them into the back.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm on my own for a bit while he literally rescues our, like, recycle bins and stuff, because that's how bad the wind is. It's destroying them. So anyway, I think we can survive, you know, for a few minutes. Oh my goodness. Anyway, these little like shakers are, there we go. Yeah, they're not hard to open. They're just, they seal very well. Okay. Where do you live? We're in Saskatchewan. I am Canadian and we're in Saskatchewan. Okay. There we go. So I'm just going to open all the little shakers. And you can use your fingernail, but I do try to follow my own advice. For those also that aren't aware, I am, in my previous life, I am a professionally certified esthetician. And I used to like own a salon and do nails and all that stuff as a business. And yeah, the whole like nails are jewels, not tools. It's true. Take care of them. I just, like everything, I'm always like, do as I say, not as I do. I usually just don't follow my own advice. Anyway, so we got all our colors, and I will probably use all of them, because why not? We'll just see what happens. And we're just going to keep it simple. And just sprinkle it. So you don't need much. And it always looks like nothing. you know, at first. And then it looks like a hot mess when we add the water. But that's also the magic of it all. But yeah, you don't need much. So you don't need to like reef and like really shake the containers because you do not want tons of this everywhere. And usually I would tape this down. I'm feeling lazy today, you guys. I'm just like, no, whatever. He's back. You rescued the bins.
I could barely close the gate.
I believe it. The wind is awful. It's so bad. Okay. So that's what we got right now. Nothing fancy. And then this is going to make it look like an absolute hot mess. You got to trust the process. We're just going to start spraying it with water. And that's when the magic happens. And since this was heat embossed, you can see how it's keeping, you know, there's like little cells of color. So that's one of the perks. And normally I say leave it, don't muck with it, but I'm going to muck with it. Just because I can. It's a good thing I checked this brush because there was greases on it. I'm mostly only going to, because I've got little chunks still of powder here and there. So mostly I just kind of want to make sure those are like mixing with the water so that they can do their thing. And then we got to let this air dry because that's what gives it the cool look. And again, this looks like a hot mess. You gotta have patience. You gotta let it dry. So yeah, kind of mix in some of those colors. Drop a bit in there, because why not? And then Amy, leave it alone. Leave it alone. So we're gonna set him. I'm gonna use my magnets. And I'm just gonna set him aside. And then we're gonna do the other one. And then we'll come back to him when he's a little more dry. So that also means wipe out the mess. There we go. Okay. I heard your voice in my craft space yesterday. I was doing some splatter. Didn't use my flour cloth to cover my work area. And yes, it went everywhere, even on my TV screen. Yep. My camera has splatter on it. It's like everything. My clothes, everything. Everything has splatter on it. It's all good. It's all good. We'll survive. Okay. Now, the other one. Where's my little... We'll just use this. And then the other way to use these powders, that is the first way was like the free form. Just shake it on, spray it, let go, see what happens. And then if you want more control, you can paint with them like directly. And I'm just gonna do the same sort of thing, just kind of tap it. This'll work. I was gonna take the lids off, you know, and scoop it out, but this works too. So just any little palette will work, something just non-porous. And we're just gonna put a little powder on here. And again, you don't need much. Like a set of these is gonna last you an insanely long time. Like I have yet to even come close to using up any, but then also I have a lot of them. I have all the colors of like the Nouveau ones. I have tons of the Lindy's ones. I've used them a ton, but I also do like 10 million other things. So it's not like this is my only form of coloring medium. But yeah. Okay. Yes, Maria. These are the new little shaker bottles. And then I can zoom in a little bit. There we go. Oh, my lighting seems really... Doesn't it look dark to you?
It's dark in general.
Well, it is dark in here, but anyway, I'm not gonna futz with my lighting right now because that's the last thing we need. Okay. Okay, so just wet paintbrush, any little paintbrush, just a little brush, and then we can just go like this. And that's it. And then you can paint with it. Just like so. Super simple. And this, when doing it this way, this is where you get obviously the most control. Because you're choosing where to apply, etc., etc. And again, this is all gonna look kind of blah on camera. When they're dry, I'll show, because these are shimmery. That's the whole kind of point of these, is they're very shimmery and fabulous. And I'm also just picking these little sections like at total random because whatever. So yeah. And then because these are shimmer powders, you know, they're pigment powders, etc., there's different pigments to make up the different colors. So that's also part of like the magic of them, is like that was, I use the same color. Again, it's kind of hard to, you know, I was using the same one, but I got completely different shades out of the same one. So yeah, it's always kind of interesting to see what things decide to do, you know, especially this green. This is, what's the name of this one? My Mojito Green. This one's got several different pigments in it. So it's just like doing its own thing. Love it. And then off to the side, I just have a cloth that I'm wiping my brush off of. And we'll just keep doing what we do. How would you compare them to Perfect Pearls? Totally different products. Perfect Pearls are more shimmer. They have a bit of pigment in them, but they're not meant to react like this. Although Perfect Pearls have come out with like a lot of colors, and maybe some of their more intense colors would work this way. I've honestly never bothered to try it. I usually just mix my Perfect Pearls with water and use them to splatter with. Which, yes, I've had a lot of people asking me since Tim Holtz released the new Distress Spritz yesterday. I have them on order. I won't be getting them until probably, it takes about a good couple weeks to get my orders. And yes, I'm very excited about them. Like, he had me at shimmery spritz, literally. I was like, this is meant for me. So, yeah, I'm excited. But I won't have any videos or anything coming using those until I can get my hands on them. So, it's going to be a bit. So, yeah. We'll just keep adding some color with these. And you can always go back in, add more, soak up some of the excess, etc., etc. This color's really pretty. Oh, okay, 1 second. Let me finish this one little spot. Thank you, Zon. I appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. Tim Holtz is just me. Oh yeah, I haven't even finished watching his live from yesterday. I'm about halfway through because we are getting hit hard. Our power was out, so I missed like the first half of his live, and then when I tuned in and saw what it was, I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me? Really?"
Yes.
Yeah, Chris knows because I was just like, "Why?" Like, I should have been there for this. This has like got my name all over it. Anyway, I'm catching up with it. It's just it's been chaotic.
We had a busy day yesterday.
We did. We took the kids to the zoo. And that was fun. We went to the butterfly house too, and I had butterflies loved me yesterday. That was fun.
You were wearing a really
I was
bright
wearing a
blue.
very bright color, pretty much the same, almost the same color. Well, a little more blue than green. This looks a little green on camera, but I was wearing a very bright color for once, which I never do. And yeah, the butterflies were like, "Heyo."
They
So
really
yeah,
were.
it was funny. I got a kick out of it. So yeah, okay. It's got some of our little colors. Just when you think Tim has created all he needs to, he comes up with something. Oh yeah, that his brain never stops. And yeah, I love it. And for those that, because I've already had people like asking me about those new distress spritz, just watch his video because he explains the difference. Because I knew because I was like, he's not going to release something that's the exact same or very similar to the mica stain sprays, which I have. They're all literally lined up in a row behind me, and I use them a ton. Love them. Those are seasonal. But yeah, the new spritz, they're different. They're different and they're cool, and I like them, and I ordered them. I would have ordered them sight unseen. It is what it is. So, yeah. Anyway, we're just gonna keep painting. This is, yeah, yeah. We'll just keep doing our thing, and then we can compare them once I get this one painted, and then get them dry. Use more of this pink. There we go. There we go. Add some of this pink. And then this is also like a color combo I normally wouldn't like. In fact, I wouldn't think of on my own. That's another reason why I like the Lindy sets. I like both the Nouveau shimmers and these. They work and react very, very similarly. Like they're very similar products. I do like that the Lindys are in sets. Cause yeah, they're just a lot of times they're just color combos that I wouldn't think of on my own, and then when you start playing with it, it's like, ooh, this is kind of fun. So yeah, we're just gonna. I need more of that pink. Where's the pink? The pink is Cosmopolitan pink, of course. Of course. Okay. This is off topic. Maybe you can answer this question. My Copic markers keep drying out. I don't understand why. Any thoughts on this? If you bought your Copics within the last 5-ish years, I'm not exactly sure what the exact timeline is. There could be hairline cracks in the lid because they should not be drying out. Like they shouldn't. They should not be drying out. But if they are, most likely culprit, if the lids aren't on properly, because that's the first thing. If the lids aren't on properly, there's a chance there might be little hairline cracks in them. And if that is the case, that it's the alcohol is evaporating, and that's why the markers are drying out. And they shouldn't be doing that. I've been hearing that a lot lately from people. I have not really had that issue, but my Copic markers are old. I've had them for many, many years, and a few years ago there was a big shakeup with Copic. From what I understand, this is all alleged because I don't know for sure, but the family took it over. I'm not sure what all happened, but it completely upended the company and the industry and all the things, and then things changed, and it hasn't been good, and it sucks because I do love my Copics. Okay, so there's that. So you can kind of see the shimmer. And then let me quickly wipe this up before I get shimmer powder absolutely everywhere. Because again, they're pigments. It doesn't take much to make a mess. Let's make a mess. Okay. So we got this one. And then the other one is still very wet, but I'm going to just speed it up with the heat tool to get it dry because I, hosed it down with so much water. So this still looks like a bit of a hot mess. This is more me. This is more like controlled chaos. Anyway, let's dry them and then we can I can really show you guys the shimmer. So I'm just gonna speed up the drying process. So we do things like absorb some of the excess. There we go. There we go. And same thing, if you're using your heat tool to dry watercolor and the image has been heat embossed, you want to keep the tool moving, because you're not trying to heat emboss, you're just trying to dry things. Because if you are getting right in there, you're going to remelt the embossing powder, it's going to mix with the liquid, and you're going to have a hot mess. Okay, this one's almost dry. Almost. Just gonna soak up a little bit of the excess here, just because I can. Just to sort of speed this along a little bit since we're live. There we go. Yeah, that's a little better. I know it's been asked, but Ohuhu marker is basically comparable to Copics. Not even close. Not even close. No. And I've talked about this before with the Ohuhu markers, I highly recommend going on to Sandy Allnock's YouTube channel. And she did a comparison, and because she has been using Copics for many years, but she did a really in-depth comparison, and she also had some things to say about them. And it's interesting. Yeah. But I wouldn't say they're comparable. I'm sure they're decent, but definitely not comparable to Copics. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna let everything else air dry because they're almost dry, but I'm gonna let them air dry. But before I do that, there we go. Because that's the only way I can really show how pretty these actually are. Because just flat, they're okay, But then it's like, oh, this is why they're magical. So, yeah. Very, very... two completely different looks using the exact same product, the exact same colors, just two different methods. Why is I told you that it's...
It got worse all of a sudden.
Oh, no, it gets worse because when I turn the light on, the camera's adjusting to the ambient light and all that kind of stuff. Fun times, man. So we'll zoom on a little bit. There we go. I'm just gonna let these guys dry naturally, and then while we're letting them dry, we can do the somewhat tedious. I had hoped to adhere all this off camera. I'm gonna put the lids on these guys. Let's just be safe so that Amy doesn't knock these over. At least with these little shaker lids, my chances of like dumping them is very slim, but better to be safe than sorry. It's just my luck. There we go. Tips for getting glue off your glass blocks. Wait, so you can use a razor blade. You just have to be really careful. Because yeah, you can like scrape glue off or peel it off. Yeah. Yeah. You can also use, yes, you could use like a solvent, but like even like pure alcohol, like isopropyl alcohol could also help work. That helps work with glues. But yeah, usually if things get really gummed up with glue and stuff, I just peel the glue off. Okay. Okay. So then I need adhesive would help. There we go. Adhesive. And I use, this is another oldie but goodie favorite of mine. This is the Fancy Thanks wafer die. I die cut it from, as is tradition, I do most of the time, white cardstock, matte gold cardstock, and then I die cut the outline from VELLUM because that's just what we do. That's just what we do. So I'm going to stack these once there we go. Once I get my glue running, just had to remove the little clog. I like to stack my sentiments because Laura Basson told us to. Sung to us anyway. You know, dimension is life. She's right though. Because it is. Die cut sentiments look better when they're stacked. It just... Sometimes it's the most subtle things that can just really amp up the finished look of whatever you're making. So yeah, we're gonna stack them together just like that. And then yeah, okay, we're good. We're good. And then, and I talked about this in the bonus live on Thursday. Pretty sure that was Thursday. Because I did a die cut matte gold sentiment on VELLUM with that one too. Why change it up when you like it? Whatever. I like to put one layer behind the whatever my main sentiment is, whether it's like matte gold or like a glitter cardstock, any sort of specialty cardstock, or if it's just straight up cardstock. I like to stick one layer. Good lord, I can't even get these adhered. I am having trouble today. I just want to go back to bed. It's like this weather is so miserable. I just want to like curl up in bed and keep reading my book. Wah. Wah. There we go. So, yeah, let's press them all together, just like so. And then I like to take another cardstock die cut to adhere behind the VELLUM. And the reason I like doing that is it will pop the VELLUM up just a smidge to give it, again, a little bit more dimension. It makes the VELLUM float a little bit above whatever you're going to adhere it to. Plus, it's going to make it easier to adhere the sentiment because I just need to put adhesive behind the cardstock versus tracing behind the VELLUM. Again, this is a sentiment that is chunky enough that it's pretty simple to add adhesive behind. But this gives it the little extra something.
That word needs to come back in popularity.
What, chunky?
Yeah.
It is. It's a chunky sentiment. It's not a fine line.
Chunky.
He is. He's a chunky boy. Just like that. It's like a sentiment sandwich. Yes, you get it. Because yes, adhesive shows through VELLUM. It does. And people keep trying to argue with me over that. And I'm just like, nope, it does. Every time. Every time. It does. So we got one sentiment. We got to do this again. This won't take very long, thankfully. So we're gonna adhere because we're doing 2 cards because I'm insane. Still keeping it sort of simple though. There was like, I had like 15 more products pulled out for today and all this. Like I was in my head as usual. I was like going completely overboard and I was like, no, stop it. Stop it. Like we're just gonna keep it a little basic. There we go. So then we got this one. And it will also depend on the type of cardstock you're using. I find that it's rare that I do more than all together, whether it's on the back or together. I rarely do more than 3 layers of cardstock for sentiment. 1, I ain't got time to sit and fiddle with multiple layers, and 2, I use heavyweight cardstock because the white is Simon's 120 pound smooth white cardstock. But if you're using really thin cardstocks, you may have to do more die cuts just to give it the dimension. And yeah. There we go. It's got those. They're being annoyingly finicky today. Why is everything being finicky today? It's just one of those days, I swear. Yep. We're having a day. What else is new? What else is new? And yeah. And for those that might be newer, as always, hello, welcome to the chaos. But this is just the precision, because I get asked this a lot. Precision glue press. It's always linked in the supplies, like always. And I do have a review of it on my channel from... I posted it earlier in the year. You just have to search. But yeah. I like it. I wouldn't show it on camera if I didn't. Because yeah. Okay. We got this guy. This guy adhered. Let's just stick magnets on him too, because everything's just legit being annoying today. There. Just hold him down while I put glue on this one. Yeah, for the longest time, I just would stack my sentiments, stick them on a vellum outline, and then I've shown in a bajillion videos, I would just trace carefully along the back of the vellum to hide the glue behind the sentiment. And then, yeah, and I can't even take credit for sticking it behind the vellum. I forget who it was that I saw do that. And I was like, you're a genius. What the heck? Saves me a ton of aggravation. So yeah, I did not invent this. And I'm not even exactly sure who I picked this little tip up. I'm sure there's some video somewhere that I've posted and I gave proper credit to whoever I got the idea from. I just, at this point, I don't remember. I don't remember. I'm getting old. My memory is not very good. Okay. There we go. Sure, I got everything lined up. Then we got our little sentiments. Thank you, Jen. I haven't painted them. It's been over a week now. They're like growing out. But I have been trying harder at taking care of them and, you know, not using them as tools. And cuticle oil, my friends. Whether you paint your nails or not, cuticle oil is your friend. Use it multiple times a day. It makes a difference. So there's our sentiments. Hooray. There we go. There we go. And then these guys, not quite fully dry. In fact, you can tell. You can kind of tell, and you can also tell when, if just by like touching the watercolor paper, if it feels cool, it's still damp, which these are. I need to get these like dry because I want to die cut them with the coordinating wafer die. So I'm gonna bring out the heat tool again and get these dry. Go. Yep. Okay, now we can die cut them. So, it has coordinating wafer die and a little bit of tape to hold that in place so that it does not shift when I run it through my die cut machine. So we're just gonna line that guy up, tape him into place, and I always, regardless of what type of tape you use, I always tape to the outside. I try and not get the tape to overlap onto something that I have watercolored, colored in general, heat embossed, whatever, because when you're running this through your die cut machine and the pressure, you know, it's going to press that tape. I don't care about the outside because this is just going in the trash, but you don't want it to fuse into what you've done and then you peel the tape off and it peels off what you've been working on. That's not fun. So we're gonna stick that on there, run it through the die cut machine. How can you make it stamp at the edge of a MISTI? Ruth, I don't understand what you're asking. And my die cutting wasn't very good, but you know what? We're going with it. We're going with it, man. So the other thing is it does sometimes transfer. I've got now shimmer powder on here. Not a big deal. I can wipe that off. This is what I keep a bottle of, and I just got a new one. I keep a bottle of isopropyl rubbing alcohol, 70%. Another warning with stuff like this. I will use this to clean up this. I can use it to clean up my glass work surface, adhesive, things like that. Do not use alcohol on your photopolymer stamps, your photopolymer grip mats, things like that. It can ruin them. But for basic like cleanup of, you know, my magnetic mat, my cutting plates, my stencils, you know, this stuff works a treat. It does the trick. So I just a couple of sprays. And then as always, like I say, even though I know I'm talking to adults, but sometimes there needs to be a reminder. It's flammable, you know, so just always be aware of that. Here we go. So clean that off, and now we can die cut again. When I put the cardstock in the corner of the MISTI against the very edge, it won't stop. Oh, I know what you're asking. It can depend on what you have in your MISTI. Because if there is a gap between, like, I have a grip mat in my MISTI, and there is like a teeny little gap between the grip mat and the very edge. Doesn't faze me. I don't worry about it. Also, depending on what you're doing, if you want something stamped like right up to the very edge, I wouldn't put my cardstock. I don't put it in the corner. I stick it in the middle. That way I get, you know, whether it's my card base, which I'm going to do my card base, and I'm actually going to stamp this heart on the inside of my card, so I'll show that. But I put it in the middle because you do have, depending on the stamp you're using, you know, you got your lid, but then you have the edge of your MISTI. So depending on the stamp you're using as well, you know, you're putting pressure. You get better results in the center when you're on the very, very edge. If you want something to stamp, you have your stamp right to the very edge. You're kind of competing with that hard plastic edge, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Don't use alcohol on acrylic either. Will eventually cause acrylic. Yes, anything that is like pure acrylic, technically, which is technically your like cutting plates. However, cutting plates are, they get used up. I don't really necessarily ever need to use alcohol on them. It's occasionally, but yes, alcohol can wreck acrylic over time. But you have to use it fairly consistently for it to do that, and I don't do that, so I don't really worry about it too much. Okay, we better line this up again. I can generally reuse my tape. Just like so. We'll get this lined up. I'm going to tape him into place. Yeah, Ruth, you don't have the grip mat yet. Yeah, even just the foam insert that comes with the MISTI, same thing. There's a little bit of give, you know, between the foam, and it can shift. Just it's a little bit. But if you want things to go edge to edge, a lot of times it helps to like stick the cardstock in the more in the center, and you'll get a better result. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully. Okay. Where do you find alcohol with a sprayer? I got mine at the local pharmacy. Let me grab this before it falls on the floor. They actually had and it's spray on, but you can also get it doesn't have to come with a sprayer. You can just buy bottles. You know, most pharmacies carry a 70% isopropyl alcohol, most. And a lot of times it's smaller bottles. That's fine. And then you can just transfer it into a little spray bottle. Kathy Zielski has a cute little glass one. It's like a little frosted glass with a gold little sprayer. I nearly caved and got one for myself because I'm like, I do everything Kathy does. Like, hello. But I spotted this because my pharmacy had them on sale because it was this time of year. You might actually have a better chance of getting it because they have them for like it was like wound care and all the thing, you know, sunburn care and all this stuff. So they had, you know, aloe vera gels and this stuff and everything else. And I was like, sweet, it's on sale. I picked up a couple bottles. It was like, I think I paid like $6, something. But again, it's flammable, people. Be careful with it. And don't use it on your stamps or your grip mats. So, but yeah, if you can't get it in a spray form, you can just get a bottle of it, pour it into a little spray bottle. Just be careful, you know. You're mucking around with alcohol. Okay. Oh, nobody needs to worry about being late. It's all good. And I've already put that away, but we're gonna clean this again because again, it just transfers. That is the thing with shimmer powders. They like to kind of get everywhere. I lost the lid. There it is. Oh my gosh. There we go. And then I just clean it off so that I don't have it transferred to the next project. And we're good. We're good. I have those gold bottles in my craft room that Kathy uses. I know we get everything that Kathy uses, don't we? Like the amount of things I have purchased because she's shown them. Like, I get it. I get it. So there's our hearts. We have hearts. We have sentiments. We need card bases. I don't need that anymore. Card bases would help when you're making cards. Okay. Card bases. Oh man, you guys, seriously, what there?
You got it.
I know. It just takes me a few tries. I'm just treading water. Barely. Barely. Wah. Okay. MISTI. That would help. You know, the MISTI I had in my hand. Okay. There. We're gonna do that out of the way. And then I wanted to stamp the hearts on the inside. And it would help one of those. And it would help if I actually got the, there we go. Doop. cute. I got the empty purse sprayers meant for perfume. Yeah, like when it comes to having a bottle of alcohol, like to spray, anything's gonna work. And I keep saying this, but I mean it. It is flammable, like flammable, people. So keep it away from heat sources. Keep it away from your heat tool. If you are like me and you like to dabble with like playing with wax melts and little tea lights, do not keep this anywhere near. Just flammable. Okay. Okay. Just yeah. It's crafting. It's a hobby, but you know some of it. It's a thing, man. Okay. Gonna line up your little heart, and then remember when Dan did the voiceover? Oh yeah, when Kathy's hubby did his voiceover, I made Chris watch it. I was cackling. It was funny. He had some good little, so many, and it's still to this day it's a skir buddy. Gotta use your skir buddy. Anyway.
It's a Teflon bone folder.
Yep, with the skir buddy. So yeah. Oh, by the way, this is just Rainbow Swash Ballet ink. It's kind of a little intense. It'll dry back a bit though, and it will soften, so it won't be quite so intense. But I'm still okay with that. So we're gonna stamp that on the inside of my cards, because you guys know I need to have something on the inside. It can't be naked. It's inappropriate. And then we'll do it again. Just ink up our things. And then yes, also that, which reminds me, and I think I was asked that on the last live. I forget now. You guys, I can't remember anything. But it has been requested many times about like the unpaid intern doing a voiceover. Someday maybe. It's a little different with him because he knows a lot about what and not even because he sits here during the lives. That was one of the things that piqued my interest when we first started dating. Because he was paying attention and he was watching my videos, and then he would come over and he's like, "Oh, you're using the MISTI." And I'm like, "How the hell do you know what that is?" And he was like, "I watch your videos." I'm like, "What?" So yeah, he learned things and was paying attention. Although I'm sure he would still have absolutely ridiculous crap to say during a voiceover. That's also one of the reasons we keep holding off, because it would probably end up being highly inappropriate. We kept meaning to do it. We kept meaning to do it for like April Fools, and then by the time April Fools is like coming close, it's like both of us just don't have the time, you know. And it is what it is. Maybe at some point, you know, it just.
The problem with April Fools is that's when corporate year end is, because they have that weird April 1st to April 1st.
Well, and yeah, for us, it is also, it's tax season for us. And season. As an independent woman, self-employed, tax season is just, oh, I'm so glad it's over for this year. Wow.
It was awful this year.
It was awful this year. Every year is always awful. Taxes are just not fun. So anyway, we will revisit the whole voiceover thing, but he's crafted with me on camera, so I consider that like super fun. And I talked about this in the last live too. We will do it again.
Yes, we actually talked about it the other day.
Just the other day he brought it up. So we'll sit and craft. It's a logistics thing as always. Like I don't even have space for me. Anyway, okay. Don't leave alcohol in your car in Texas. I can't even imagine how unbelievably hot people's vehicles would get. Oh, yes. Same thing with like sunblock and stuff. I made sure to pull ours out of the vehicle yesterday because we had sunblock, which seems bizarre that yesterday was so sunny and beautiful and now it's just miserable. Yes. But yeah, aerosols and those sorts of things, I don't leave them in a hot vehicle, people. Not a good thing. Okay. Then we've got our insides. Sounds weird. And then there was something else I was going to use. Where did it go? Literally, where? I lost it. I'm not even kidding. I literally lost it. Where did it go?
What are you looking for?
My little pack of sentiment strips. It was... Oh, I found it. We're good. I found it. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Okay. My husband did unboxing videos for me for like a year. He has his own. That would actually be funny. That would actually be interesting. I could. I could just like, yeah. There's so many things, you guys. I've done one haul video in the last, I don't even know how many years. I haven't really been doing them, and then I show Chris a lot of the new things. I'm like, look at it, and he's like, okay. But yeah, and then I just toss it all on the floor. Oh, I have so much to do. I'm tired. Anyway, back to the cards at hand. I have ideas. I found my sentiment strips, but I'll revisit those in a minute because there was. Do I want to use a ribbon too, even though the color? We're gonna do splatter. We're gonna use Big Mama foam tape. I had plans. Okay, let's just. My husband accuses me of playing with blocks. Yeah, I guess our acrylic block.
I have a crippling Lego addiction, so
yes, Chris.
Everybody plays with blocks, or they should.
Yes, Lego, especially nowadays. Man, there is so much. My kids get annoyed when they see. They're just like, "Why haven't?" Because I have a couple Lego sets, just in the boxes. Because I have not assembled them. I'm like, why aren't you putting them together? I'm like, they're for display only. Because I just don't have time, man.
You walk into a Lego store these days, and you can tell that the hobby is definitely for adults.
Oh, yeah. They're 100%. Like, Lego is expensive, for one.
Whoa.
And who has the... Oh, yeah, there, you can block that one. Mm-hmm. You did, I think. Get lost. Did we ever get spammed? Ban... I think you can delete all those, can't you?
No, that they'll be there for. I don't know if I can get rid of the notifications.
Can you delete them?
No, I don't think so.
I'll probably have to do it later. That's annoying. Well, we got our first full-on bot troll. That was fun. Fun.
I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking about Lego.
You were thinking about Lego. I know. We both were. I was going on a little bit of a little rant there, but anyway, gotta love stupid loser bot trolls that just don't have a life. And so many other words I could use to describe them, but we're not gonna go there anyway. Okay. And that person's been, or their account has been banned so that we don't have to see their stupid crap. And then we can go back on to what is your favorite less tacky tape? My favorite is this one, and I have it linked, I think, in my most used stuff in the description box below, and it's the Tonic Craft Perfect dye tape. I love this stuff. I ordered backups. It comes in just the tape, and then you can get the dispenser separately, because whether you want the dispenser or not. I got the dispenser because this is a little wider than average tape. And yeah, love this stuff. Love it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, hopefully a lot of you didn't see it. It was just a stupid troll.
Yeah.
Posting nonsensical and then a couple of inappropriate things, but I banned them also on my end, so that hopefully actually removed it from what you guys can see. I can still see them, but hopefully it's gone now. This is why I has an unpaid intern, but you weren't paying attention. We were talking about Lego.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, we like Lego. Lego is awesome. It's expensive, but it's awesome.
It is.
And I'm eternally butthurt that my younger children just don't fully appreciate it like they should. Ugh. As a kid, Lego was the best, and I only ever got to play with it at one of my grandparents' house because I didn't own any of it.
They have digital Lego now.
Digital Lego?
Minecraft?
Well, I guess, yeah, Minecraft. I would have loved that as a kid, too. Okay. Got this. I wanna, there we go. Yeah, we got rid of the troll. It's all good. but we're gonna get right back to what we were doing. So we got our hearts on the Big Mama foam tape. Get that into place. And then we're gonna add some splatter, of course, because you all know. You guys all know, splatter is life. Here we go. It's got a little bit of dimension going on. And then boot that into place. Splatter. Actually, speaking of the low tack tape, take a little bit, just like that. Just to hold these cards closed while I add the splatter. And there we go. Gonna do that. Gonna do that, as is tradition. And then I need to add just a little bit of water to my Gonzai Tombi Starry Colors. And then I need my little fan brush so we can work this up and add some pretty gold splatter, because that's what we do. Alrighty. And yes, I used to do that, like lay out my big flour sack cloth to really protect my surface, and then I just stopped caring. I stopped caring. It just is what it is. So yeah, just work that out real good until I get it the way I want it. Remove some of the excess, and then we're just gonna Yep. That works. That works. There we go. So then, clean out the brush. That just needs to dry. These just need to dry so that they'll not get smeared. And then while they're drying, I'm going to trim a couple sentiments from, I got another pack. These are, again, oldie but goodie. These are just the thanks pre-printed sentiment strips that came out eons ago. I've had them for literal ever, and I just use them so much I keep repurchasing them. You can also technically foil these because they are printed with toner ink onto the smooth white cardstock. I almost never bother doing that because for me and a foiling machine like that, it's such a hit and a miss for me, and I'm just content with them the way they are. So I want to cut. Yes, they are the same. Okay, so yeah, 4 sheets are the same, which is nice, always. And I'm going to trim down. Let's move that guy out of the way. Hello, Jessica. So we're going to do thanks. And I wanted to use for your support, because I'm going to send these cards to a couple of people's. They in turn already put the link in the chat, and it is below the video for those watching live. If you put your name and address in, he'll choose a couple winners, and I'll mail out these cards. So I thought thanks for your support was rather fitting for the sentiment. So I'm just going to cut the thanks word off. So then all I have is for your support. So we're going to stick that over there. And then I got to do that a second time. Do you like using foil? Oh, I do. I posted, I didn't do it wasn't a public video. It was a video for my Patreon peoples, but I posted the card. I posted a card earlier this week, a birthday card, using one of the new picket fence deco foils. And I used it with their toner paper and stuff, and I foiled the paper and then die cut it. And it's rainbow and it's amazing. Like that kind of stuff, love it. Little like sentiments like this, I just don't bother. I don't know, it just never seems to work properly for me. Other people get it to work good, like Nina Marie Trapani that works with Simon Says Stamp. She foils her little sentiments like often, and they look so good. They look so good. Like every time I see one of her cards with a foiled sentiment, I'm like, how'd she do that? And I'm like, wait a minute, that's one of the pre-printed sentiments, and she foiled it, and it just looks awesome. Mine like never do, and I'm lazy. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I'm just lazy. It is what it is. And then I wanted to put something on the inside. Thanks for your support. I think I'll use the I really appreciate your kindness, because you know you can never say thank you enough, in my opinion. You can also use like sentiment label wafer dies to die cut these if you don't like eyeballing. I technically don't mind eyeballing these, even though I talked about that in the last live too. The older I get, my eyes are getting more just meh. I actually need to make another eye appointment this summer because I think they've gotten worse, which is always fun. There we go. There we go. Oop, there we go. I have those sentiments and love them. I have the birthday ones. Oh, I have tons of them because Simon has released dozens upon dozens upon dozens of the pre-printed, because they also come in the reverse version, which is black on white cardstock, so it looks like the lettering is white, and just there's lots, and I use them a lot. They're convenient. No, that's not the one I want. I want the other piece. Where's the other piece? There's the other piece. That's the one. I really appreciate your kindness, because I do. Nope. Okay, there we go. Just got that. Oh my goodness, Kelly, thank you so much. Thank you. You did not need to do that. Thank you. I very much appreciate it. Okay. I need to make sure I'm actually not going to like cut this in half. Oh, thank you. Okay. Again, I appreciate your guys' kindness. I just appreciate you guys tuning in. And those that are watching on the replay, you know, because I know not everybody can catch it live. That's fine. I just appreciate all of it, you know. And I mean it when I say at the end of my videos, I appreciate just people taking the time to watch, thumbs upping and commenting. It does help. It's not even about like, it literally helps bump the stupid algorithm I'm constantly fighting with. It helps. It legit helps, because it's just doing content creation as a job is, it's the Wild West, man. Everything's insane. It gets crazy. Okay. My splatter isn't fully dry yet. I can see some liquid right there. What about this guy? This one, mostly dry. Just want to make sure I'm not, because I don't want to smear anything, because we don't want that. We don't want that. I have trouble using that trimmer for small things like these, hard for me to line up. I don't have suggestions, honestly. Because it really is like I use the grid lines, you know. But yes, when you're doing like this little, let me move this. Let's move some things out of the way here. When you're doing like something like this, and I just want to shave off, like, it's full on eyeballing, which is not easy. So yeah, I literally eyeball it. And you can't really see this on camera because it's just, but I can see right where it's like over the edge here, and then I kind of compare it here. I will also use the edge of the plastic guide here, where with these that's why I can do it with these sentiment strips. I wouldn't do it with like a blank piece of cardstock like this, because I can use the edge of the guide, and I see where it's like right now it's basically cutting this entire sentiment in half. So it's like, okay, this is straight, or as straight as I'm going to get it, you know, like within reason. And then I can, and then holding it, like I am pressing down this so it's holding that piece, because that's all it's holding it in place. And I can shave off a literal like sliver of cardstock. But that's just like eyeballing. And right there I was just showing off that I could do it. But I'm actually surprised I was able to do it and not completely destroy it. So now I have to do it to this one because I shaved that one down. But yeah, it's with small things like this, it is just because there is no guides, you know, it's this metal cutting edge. There is no way to fully do that. Like, and one thing you technically could do, and I personally am not going to bother, but one thing you could do is you could take this off, because this does come off. It just pops off. Is you could take a ruler and a Sharpie marker, because like people ask about this. This is just washi tape, because this only measures up to 6 inches. And then I measured, so the edge of this washi tape is 6¼ inches, and then I drew with a Sharpie 6½ inches right here. So that's why that's there, because this only measures up to there. But I like having those extra measurements. So you could do the same thing on here too. It's just because this is metal, like Sharpie will stay on metal, but there's just a chance that it could like come off on your cardstock. It probably wouldn't matter, but that is also an option. It's an option. It's an option. But I've never bothered. I've been okay with eyeballing it. But with the sentiment strips, if cutting them is, because it is kind of a little, using like little sentiment wafer dies, you know, little thin rectangles, do it. It works. It totally works. So, yeah. In fact, now I'm like getting completely, no, it's fine. It's fine. We're fine. We're fine. Okay. So, here we go. What was I doing? I was waiting for this to dry, and I was going to remove the tape, because you can tell, see how that, it's still shiny, it's liquidy, so it ain't dry yet. So what I can do actually is just take a tissue and just kind of carefully, since it was a big blob of splatter, which is fine, but yeah, just soak up that excess liquid so that I'm not making a big mess. Okay, there we go, there we go, and then we're gonna remove the tape, and then ribbon. I don't use ribbon very much anymore. People give me grief about that. Those that have followed me for a very long time will remember that I used to have a ribbon collection. And this was the literal before times, because Chris has never seen it. I got rid of it before he ever entered the picture. But I used to have hurricane jars, like bigger than the size of my head. Great big huge hurricane jars with rolls of ribbon in them, all in rainbow order, of course. Used to use a lot of ribbon. And then when I got divorced and had to downsize and all the things, I got rid of a ton of it. I don't regret it. I kept some of it. Anyway, I don't use ribbon very much anymore. But this stuff is nice, and I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. So I got some of it. And this is, yeah, the Vivant, whatever it's called, Rose something or other. It's linked in the supplies. And it doesn't quite match, but I also kind of don't care because it's pretty. So this was also why I kind of left a gap in the foam tape. Like I put foam tape here and then I put it here and I left a gap because I was hoping, and I'm pretty sure I can, just thread the ribbon through. I'm hoping. See if I can do it. Can I? Oh yeah. Yeah. So I can thread the ribbon through just like so. And then I can go like that and like that. And then we're going to tie it in a little bow. So we're going to go like that. And since this is thin ribbon, I'm going to use my reverse tweezers, which I think are part of the sale. I have that sale linked in the description box below, because for those that didn't catch the early part, the stamp and die set that I'm using is on like 70% off or something like that. It's more than half, less than half price. Anyway, and I think the reverse tweezers are in there too, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe the intern can check.
Reverse tweezers?
Well, you can click on the sale link under my video. Yeah. The one above that. Yep, that one. So we make our little bow. Scroll down a bit, keep going. Yeah, they're on sale, man. Get yourself extra reverse tweezers, peeps. I've got multiple pairs because I always waited for sales and then I would order extras. Because the more you have, the less chance you have of them running away. So can I just tie a little bow? Just like so. Boop. Gonna fiddle with it a little bit. There we go. Just cute. Going back to old school things. Because yes, those that followed me for a long time, you guys remember, I used to, I want this shorter, put ribbon on every single card I made, and I just stopped. But sometimes it's fun to revisit the old things. So we got a little ribbon bow. It's all just cute. So now we got to do it again. I like to watch you tie your twine ribbon. You make it look easy. Yeah, well, many, many, many years of bows. So a insane amount of practice. There we go. And I do have a video on that. That was one of my first. It wasn't the first, but it was one of my first videos on YouTube from 15 years ago. Is how to tie like a bow or ribbon, or I forget how I titled it, but it's there. It exists. So yeah. So you got your ribbon. You just fold it over, make your knot, and again, since this ribbon is thin, it's not very wide, I can just use my little reverse tweezers to hold that. It's like a little extra pair of fingers. And then you just make basically like a bunny ear. You bring this one around and through like that, so that both of the like parts of the bow are on the top and the tails are on the bottom. And then you fiddle with it a bit more. And a bit more until you're kind of happy with it. Pull it tight, pull out the reverse tweezers, pull it more tight. Zhuzh it. Make weird faces when you do it. That always helps, you know? Yeah, we did it. We did it. Okay. So, we got little bows. We got sentiments. We got splatter. I need to adhere these ones to the insides first. Let's do that and that. Okay. Add a little bit of glue. And then we're gonna just stick that right there. Yes. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, making funny faces when you're doing things, and I'm sure I make the most ridiculous ones sometimes. Yeah. It's not even so much the faces. It's always my hair that I'm more just. And again, I talked about this in lives. I don't care. My hair is just all over the place. Don't care at all. Oh, that ribbon's crooked. I gotta fix that. That's annoying me. Yeah. Okay. There we go. So we've got that. And then my nose is starting to run because we're live. That's usually what happens.
Plus the humidity is like insanely high.
Yeah, the humidity in here is going to be a little bit nuts. Yeah. Yeah. What's your favorite ink? Oh, you can't ask me that. It depends on what are we doing? Like, what are we going for? What am I making? Yeah, no. I don't have a I don't have a favorite when it comes. That's like asking me like, who's your favorite kid? Ain't happening, man. You know. I like them each for their own unique reasons. So yeah, it's the same thing with inks.
Some of those reasons are exceptionally unique.
Yeah, some of those reasons. Okay, now we got to just adhere our little die cut sentiments. So this is where, see, I don't have to worry about like carefully tracing. This is why I explained earlier about having the die cut cardstock on the back of this vellum. It's so much quicker and easier to just put a little bit of glue on the back of the cardstock. And so I'm not having to carefully trace to hide that glue behind the vellum. And then we can just stick that guy into place. Just like that. And then same thing again. I'll just stick my little magnets on top just to weigh that down a little bit so it presses it in so that the glue can actually dry to the watercolor paper. What's your favorite ink for stamping? Again, I know I'm sounding like as if I'm being petty, but I'm not. Depends on what I'm stamping. You know, like, am I stamping an outline image? Am I heat embossing it? Am I stamping it? Like, is it a layering stamp? You know, like solid stamps. There's many because I've got different inks for different things. But for like my stamping inks, I have my Simon Says stamp positively saturated. I have my Concord and Ninth. Concord and Ninth inks. I more recently, just in the last few months, I've been getting the Altenew fresh dye inks. Love all three of those brands. They're amazing. My Distress Oxide inks are great for stamping. They're not formulated for that, but they do work really well for stamping. So again, it depends on what I'm trying to do. So yeah. Are you happy with the result? I think it's 5 of this. You mean like these specifically? These? Oh yeah, I'm happy with them.
They're gorgeous.
Thank you. No, I'm happy with it. Honestly, I try. It's funny. I try not to like overthink that kind of stuff too much. I post everything I make. I do not have the luxury of extra time to like make something ahead of time to test before I go live or before I film. Everything I throw it out there. And the funny thing is some of the things that I'm the least okay with, I'm just like, this looks like hot garbage, but I don't have time. It's going up, you know? And people, the things I like the least or that I'm just the least pleased with or satisfied with, I get them like the most compliments on. So again, it's because it's personal preference, personal opinion, how, you know, it's the same idea as when I tell people, like, walk away. If you're not happy with something you've colored, walk away. Come back to it later with fresh eyes. It's kind of the same thing with the actual finished card. It's like, sometimes I'm just like, eh. And then I come back to it later. I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So, yeah. Yeah. Um, okay, I just used your link twice. Can I email you? Yeah, you totally could, Robbie. For those that aren't aware, and I did delete the post because it turned into drama. I mentioned it on Facebook yesterday. Some are aware of this because other makers have addressed it. We have been dealing with some pretty serious issues behind the scenes with our affiliate provider, and that's just putting it so mildly. I am going to try very hard not to say very inappropriate language dealing with how unbelievably frustrated I am. So yeah, my affiliate links, for those that aren't aware, like, I mention this in all my videos, my links are affiliate links. And all that means is the links that you see posted below my videos, the ones I use on YouTube, the links on my blog, they're affiliate links. And that just means that when you click on one of those links, it's a little tracking cookie. And if you click on a link and you end up placing an order, I earn a small percentage of that. And it doesn't cost you anything. It is the brand offering the affiliate, they cover that. And that is a big chunk of my income. Like, how I'm able to do this as a job, because people use my links and place orders. And for the last 2.5 months, they have been broken. And I'm only laughing because otherwise I'd be like vomiting. It has been unbelievably stressful. It's broken since kind of works, kind of doesn't. It's been a nightmare. And at first we thought it was just me, like it was just on just for some reason mine, you know. And then I started hearing rumors and hearing things, and it was like across the board, and it's been not fun. So anyway, yesterday I posted about it on my Facebook page, asking people if they would mind sharing their order info because I'm able to file disputes, but it's a long and
very manual.
It's a very manual process. It's frustrating, and the post turned into absolute chaos. Most of it was good. Most of it was good. You know, it was like everyone is so supportive. Like, I'm not kidding when I say I think I have some of the best peeps on the internet. Most of it was really good. It was very overwhelming. Like, Chris walked in and he was like, what? And I'm just like, I had my laptop on, I was on my phone, I was like trying to deal with all of it. It was a lot. And then I had some ridiculous crap popping off, and one of them just decided to go completely sideways and become a complete donkey and said the most unhelpful dumb crap. And I responded, I just said, I was like, because she basically what she said was just like, I don't use links, I go direct to the website. And I was like, good for you, but that's not helpful, and there was no point posting that literally on my post asking for help. And so then she felt the need to message me privately, and she called me a real bitch. So, and I took screenshots of it and posted it. It's on my feed. I don't care. Anyway, it is what it is. But I removed the post because I still have messages and some emails to go through, and it's exhausting, you guys. It's frustrating. And the worst part of it all, honestly, is the affiliate provider. Their customer service is the absolute worst. I have been mansplained to. I have been gaslit. For the first month and a half, they completely blamed me for all of it. And then when I found out that it was across the board, and other makers told me that they were aware of it the entire time. So yeah, it's been just a rough couple of months, and a big chunk of my income is in limbo, in the ethers, is what it is. So anyway, that's where it's at. So let's get back to what we were doing. So I adhered my sentiments with foam tape. Oh, that's the one thing. Okay, how's this? You lose everything and you're starting over. Which ink is your first purchase? Distress Oxide inks. Yeah. A good black outline. Where's my black? 2 blacks. 2 blacks. Those two, my most used. That one for alcohol marker coloring and just general whatever. This one I use for watercoloring. Those are my 2. And then Distress Oxides. And then I would repurchase. Simon's Positively Saturated. 100%. Love them. Distress inks. 100%. Don't use them for stamping, or much for stamping, but for techniques, hello. All the ones I already use. I would literally repurchase them. Like my Concord 9 things, love. They play nice with the Simon. And the Altenew Fresh Dye inks, loving those. They have been pretty and they come in quads. So many options. So many options, not enough time in the day. So, yeah, okay. There we go. I think I lost where I was at. Are the links from all companies or from one? It was basically it's the affiliate Prairie, which is share sale, which originally all the crafty companies were using. A lot of them have left, so it's just just the nightmare behind the scenes as a maker, and a lot of other makers fully understand because now they're having to juggle multiple affiliate providers to like set up their links, and it's time consuming and exhausting. So yeah, it's been a nightmare and it sucks, but everyone is working behind the scenes to fix it, make things right, figure out what's going on, and I've just been at the mercy of all the things, and you gotta love it. You gotta love it. I'm being sarcastic. I don't know what else to say. So, yeah. But yes, it's been rough. When I kept kind of referring to just last couple months been rough. This is the big elephant in the room, and yeah, because while I appreciate the sentiment from some that they're like, I appreciate you taking the time to like do these videos. I was like, I'm not doing it just out of the goodness of my heart. I know I'm amazing. I'm being sarcastic, people. It is a job, you know. We got bills to pay, and yeah, I've put 20 years into this. The last half of that, the last decade, as a full time only source of income, and yeah, it's been stressful, but anyway, let's get back to adding bling because that's always fun. I didn't even the Stay Gold sequence. That's what I was using. Little bits of confetti, just a little more blingy bling, and wish I had money to help. Oh, don't worry about it, Elise. Like that's always the thing too when it comes to stuff like orders and affiliate links. Like I get it, you know, and I don't want people going out of their way and blowing money and that kind of stuff. Literally watching my videos and doing the whole little thumbs up and commenting, it legit helps. Like I do make a little bit on the back end with ads and stuff that play on my videos. I get just a minuscule percentage of that, but still, it adds up. It helps. So those that can't, you know, place orders, because that's part of it too. I've had many people reach out to me because they're like, I'm international and, you know, ordering is expensive. I get it. I get it. And it's okay. It is 100% okay. Haven't said anything for the longest time because I don't want anyone to feel sympathy towards me or, you know, feeling like they need to do extra or jump through hoops. No. Like it's gonna be okay. I keep telling myself that it's gonna be okay. We'll be okay. It'll be okay. But yeah, watching and thumbs upping and that kind of stuff, it helps. Like for serious. Whether it's here on YouTube, all the people that interact with me on my Facebook page, especially on Facebook, because Facebook keeps trying. They want me to pay to promote my own posts to my own audience. And one of these days, I should start taking screenshots to show the amounts they expect me to pay. It's disgusting. And I've never done, I refuse. It's like, I'm not playing this game. Zuckerberg doesn't need any of my money. I think they've made enough. Thank you very much. But yeah, to literally, it's like to boost this so more of your audience sees it for like, most of the time it starts at like $45 for one post. That's the dumbest crap. No, thank you. Anyway, all that ranting and rambling. I finished these cards. Okay, I'm gonna do, wait. First, we got to show the shimmer for those that didn't see it. And while I'm showing the shimmer, the intern posted it again. He'll pick winners because I'll mail these cards out. This is gonna mess with the lighting, but that's fine. Got to show the. Ooh, let's back that off. There we go. Let's see if I can show it better. Sparkle and the shimmer. Here we go. So there's that one. And then the freeform, messy, let it do its own thing. All that shimmer. There we go. There we go. There we go. So yeah, and then the inside, of course. So we got a little bit of dimension. We got our little bit of ribbon. And then, yeah. So, super fun. So, are you picking?
Yeah, just 1 second.
Let me do this, and then I can do my other little trick. Hopefully this works. Yeah. There we go. We got 2 cards. Not bad. Not bad at all. So, there we go. Magpie, yes. Everything appeals to my inner magpie. Let me move my big jar of dirty paint water, or as the intern calls it, the forbidden water.
You have forbidden salts now. That's in those little color
Oh, the shakers? Yeah, you're not touching those either.
I'm not touching the forbidden salt?
You're not touching the forbidden salt. Yeah. Anywho. Okay, I put things away properly. Always try to clean up while I'm still live. And then yeah, he's picking out a couple random winners that I'll mail the cards to. And I did pick, it was announced on the blog post, the bonus live I did on Thursday. I picked that winner earlier randomly, and so that card will go out this coming week, this week as well. You know.
2, right?
Yes. I made 2 cards. We got 2 winners. So, yes. Screw Facebook. Don't they have enough dollars? Exactly. It's gross. It'd be one thing if it was like a couple bucks, something I could kind of justify. But it's like gross amounts of money to like promote posts. And I literally can't afford what they're asking. And the thing is it's frustrating because it's like basically to just push out to the audience that I already have. Like I have over 19,000 followers on my Prairie Paper and Ink Facebook page, which thank you all, tons. I am very aware of the sort of privileged position I'm in there. But it drives me insane. And it's the same thing with Instagram. It's the same thing with YouTube. I have over 90,000 YouTube subscribers. Do they see all my videos? Not even 10% really see them. It's when you do content creation for a living, a lot of the numbers don't actually mean anything. Some people put way too much stock in the numbers, in the amount of subscribers, in the amount of followers. And it's like, while I appreciate every single one of them, it doesn't translate, A to B. It's not how it works.
So we have our winners.
You got winners.
We have a Susan B from Belmar, New Jersey.
Susan B in New Jersey.
Yeah, and a Tamara N from Mesa, Arizona.
Tamara in Arizona. Yay. I will get these mailed out. The plan is this week. I got better. It depends on life. Sometimes I'm really good and get things mailed out and sent out to everybody like, woo. And then other times my life just goes completely sideways and I don't get to the post office for like 2 solid weeks. But, I know you're getting close to 100K. That should count. Oh yeah, when I hit that 100K, we'll have a big old party, literally. I've mentioned this before. I have been stockpiling things. I have a couple of bins full of product, like bins full of product. I will do some pretty big giveaways, but the 100K, it most likely is going to take. It could take years, really. And at the rate, I get new subscribers because I don't appeal to all the peoples. I get it. My personality isn't for everybody. Which is what it is. I'm okay with it. But when we get to that point, I think once I hit 95, I'll do some sort of giveaway just to like move some of this stuff out of here because I got a lot. But we'll get to it. One thing at a time, you know? But I mean it. I appreciate you guys tuning in, hanging out. You're knocking things over. What did you knock over?
The pieces.
Oh, that? Yeah, that's part of one of my shelves or something.
Part of one of your shelves then.
It's part of a drawer. Anyway, big thanks to the unpaid intern.
Yep. Hello.
So for helping and for moderating and all the things, it just makes it a little bit easier on me and also because I'm really bad about when I'm like in the zone or when I'm ranting to pay attention to the 5 other things going on, aka the chat and all that ridiculousness. But yeah, as always, I will take the photos and do up the blog post and the social medias and all the things like I always do before I get these like filled out and mailed out. So the post and everything will go up a little bit later today. It's kind of already up, but I'll add like I always do. And then just stay tuned. I will, regardless of all the ridiculousness going on behind the scenes, I'll still have a ton of content coming. Regular. Oh geez, I actually waved at him like he can see. Hey, I get it, man. I get it. It's kind of like sometimes like a knee-jerk reaction, you know? Someone's waving at you, you wave back. Like I do that, you know, when you're at the grocery store or something, you see someone wave and you immediately like wave back and they weren't even looking at you, they were looking at someone behind you, and then you feel like an idiot for the rest of the day. That's me. Always. Always. And it's like, why am I like I don't know anyone ever. But it's just habit. Hey. But yeah. Thanks to Chris for sharing Father's Day with us. Oh yeah. No, I gave him an out. 100% for today. He did not need to he doesn't need to help anytime I go live. I've talked about this. He volunteered back when I first started going live like consistently and just dealing with the trolls and some of the crap. It was nuts. So he volunteered to help, but for today I was like, you don't have to. I can do this on my own. But yeah, he volunteered and yeah, it's nice. Usually we have more banter and stuff going on, I know, but today is just like, yeah, I did not get enough sleep again. Those people that were partying, and I'm exhausted, he's exhausted, and the weather is just it's making my camera shake because my camera's attached to the roof and it's very close to our garage door opener because for those again that aren't aware, I work in the garage. So yeah, we are getting stormed on. It is crazy. Looking forward to Halloween. Oh, so am I. So am I. The Halloween series, it's going to be lit this year. I don't know if that's still like hip as the slang. It's going to be good though. But we'll see. That will start. The Halloween series isn't going to start till I make no promises. I can't make any promises. The last few years I've been starting it like the end of July, roughly. But we'll see. It's hard to look ahead and plan ahead. I generally don't plan ahead other than when brands have releases, you know, and I'm part of hops and things like that. That stuff, 100%. But everything else, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on because things are chaos. But yeah, appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go so I can get this done, and then I'm probably gonna have a nap because I'm exhausted. But this is fun. And I'm glad you guys hung out with me. And for everyone on the replay, I appreciate it. Really. I appreciate it a ton. Like you guys make these fun. The lives are a lot of emotional energy in a sense. And they're very draining, but they're fun. And I like doing them. And I like talking. And Stamptember will be here before. Oh, Stamptember. Yep. Stamptember. We'll see, man. It was last year was a complete wrench thrown in it. That was rough. Hopefully this year's. Hopefully I get the package on time. We'll see. We'll see. I'm sure it'll be amazing. I don't know nothing. Literally, I don't know nothing. And even if I did, I wouldn't be saying nothing because it is all secrets and surprises and chaos. And for those that are new and aren't aware, Stamptember is a month long, huge stamping event directly and only through simonsaysstamp.com. And it's nuts. It's nuts. And because I am insane, I generally attempt to do a video for because they release, okay, for those that aren't aware, Simon Says Stamp collaborates with tons of other brands during that month, and they release exclusive stamps and sometimes stamp and die sets with those brands that are exclusive, limited edition. Sometimes they sell out so ridiculously quick it's not even funny. It's nuts. It's nuts. And me being insane, I tried to do a video for every single one. And even last year with all the chaos that happened, because my package like disappeared and ended up in some other credit card, it didn't show up on like anyway. I think I posted close to 60 or more than 60 videos last September. It's nuts. It's nuts. It's fun. It's fun, but it's nuts. Anyway, we won't talk about it till we get to it. It'll be chaos. It's fun. But thank you guys tons. I appreciate you. I'm gonna do my little bits and then yeah, I'm gonna probably curl up and have a little bit of a nap because that just sounds really good right now. And yeah, I will be checking in later. I've got, pre-recorded videos coming. I'll still attempt to do the occasional bonus live. We'll see. I might manage one this coming week. No promises though. We'll just see what happens. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later.